Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the GetGrowing weekly work session with GetOiling. We have a special work session for you today, and we have a special guest. If you can see her, Martha's here, guys. If you know Martha, come say hi. We also have our entire GetOiling team here as well. We have Greg and Amanda Kilwine, founders of GetOiling, and Kim Meng, all our lovely people up in the tundra. How's it going, guys?
It's going awesome.
Awesome. So we are really happy to be here with you today. We are honored that you are here with us today. Maybe some of you here today are working from home formally and fully for the first time. Maybe you're working from home and you do that already, but the whole family is home with you now, like the rest of us. Some of you homeschool and you're just looking at us like, what? I do this every day. So let's have some fun in the comments. Let us know how you're doing. We wanted to hold a special session today, you guys, because there's an important conversation that we need to be having as conscious people in the field that we work in. There's a lot of good that we can do, but there's also a lot of potential sort of road bumps and pitfalls, especially where mindset is concerned. And I want to make sure that all of us as a community are equipped to lead right now, because this is an opportunity to lead. So we've got some slides that we're going to go through. Come over into the chat. Let us know how you're doing, what you're doing. Are you excited to, I don't know, maybe have a new opportunity to just really renew your focus and grow this thing, right? So I'm going to hop over into this share and definitely, you know, you guys read off some of these comments because I can't.
I see. Whoops. Oh man, I can't see him anymore.
Yeah, we got some homeschoolers here for sure. Tabitha's saying homeschool, work at family, or work at home family here, 3 kiddos, 2 adults, always in our home, love it, would never change it. Somebody says they're working on the GetOiling site today. Hello from Austin and Tulsa. Yeah, lots of comments. Keep them coming.
Yeah, welcome you guys. And for those of you who are brand new here and have never been to one of these sessions before, we do this every week and it's free for anyone who is growing a young living business and wants to specifically get really smart about how they work and take their business online. So today we're going to talk about how to build in uncertain times and what this can really mean for you and for the future of your business, and also really importantly, guys, your impact on your circle, on your network, on your community right now. All right, so today, here's what we're going to talk about. First, we're going to talk about how you can take conscious action to secure your future and what that means. You're going to learn how you can rise above the noise. Guys, there's so much noise. If you get onto social media right now, if you turn on the television, there is so much noise. We're going to talk about how you can rise above that noise and lead with your truth. You're going to talk about how to make a real and lasting difference in the lives of the people around you, how you can see your business expand instead of contract during these uncertain times. And if you're here today and your business is expanding currently, please show us your hands. Let's see them. Yep, here they come. Here they come. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about, whoa, wow, that's a lot of hands. So and we're going to talk about how you can use, they're still going, a powerful, compliant strategy to get people reaching out to you right now. We do need to have an important conversation about compliant marketing, about how we present ourselves compliantly, because, you know, there's, well, we'll address that elephant in the room here in just a little bit. All right. So first, if you came here today and you're struggling with anything in your business, specifically if it has to do with how you're using the GetOiling platform to manage and grow your business, add those to the Q&A box right now, because we will make time to answer those questions and serve you on this call. So go ahead and add those to the Q&A if you have questions today. All right, so I want to open this first because in a time like this where a lot of people are panicking, a lot of people are hurting, a lot of people are uncertain, they don't know where things go next or how we're going to pay the rent because we can't go to work. Like, there's a lot of that out there right now. I think that the most important thing that we can do first is visit our gratitude. What are we thankful for? What are we grateful for in our life right now. So I want to open the panel up for this, but guys, in the comments, I want you guys to share what you are most grateful for right now, just as an exercise in this. We're going to raise the vibration of what we're doing. So I'll start. I am grateful that I have my family home. I can joke about how I don't have my space anymore, but I'm grateful that they're home because there is a level of peace that I am experiencing here in this house that we did not have before when he was commuting to be a chef in Manhattan. We are a complete family here at home, and it feels amazing. So who wants to go next?
Oh, I love it. I'll go. I am grateful for also having my family at home, for us learning more about each other, even though, like, you know, even when we're very conscious of being a family before, now there's a whole nother level or a whole nother layer being pulled back on that whenever you feel a bit in a shoebox with them, right? But there's more of like, there's the understanding of the unspoken language, which is a really interesting thing. It was something that I just noticed this morning. I don't mean to get all deep or anything, but I noticed this morning that Nora was asking for a lot of snacks. And what I realized it was after a little while is she needed her back scratched. She needed touch. She needed to be snuggled. She needed to be loved, because while we're running around the house, she needed her attention. She didn't need snacks. She needed to feel something that a kid didn't know how to say, right? So like there are things like, I don't want to cry here, like we just started, right? Like, but like those sorts of things, that communication is going to carry on for the rest of our lives. And it just happened because of this thing outside, which is so cool. So.
Beautiful. Who's next?
I'll go. I am thankful for my family and for already being a homeschool family. You know, we have the ability to do that. And for all of those that are in this new, I want to encourage you to keep going with your kids, even though that there may be frustrating days, and maybe there may be those times where you're like, oh, I want to, like, you know, pull my hair out. Just know that your babies need you at this time. And it is just one of those things that is truly a blessing to be able to have our kids at home, and to be able to, just like Martha said, be able to give our kids those hugs that they may be needing right now, and stuff like that. And our kids are going to really be able to look back at this time and say, you know what, I may not remember what this sickness was, but what I am going to remember is the time that I had with my mom and dad, the time that I had. And I am appreciative of this time too, because my kids have a whole slew of activities that we go to, and then it is providing us the time to really focus in on them at nighttime and really dig deep and be together as a family and stuff like that, and also snuggle our palm babies that we have and and stuff like that. So yes, you know, family is one of the most important things in life, and I'm just very appreciative that we have this time together as a family.
Okay, I get to go next then, huh?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me? All right.
Uh-huh.
So I could go on and on and on about the things that I'm grateful for, but I think the biggest points are what you guys have all hit on, that we are able to stay home with our families, that they're safe, that we have the ability to make choices and make wise choices, to not let our kids hang out with other kids just because they're not in school and things like that. So I'm just grateful that my kids generally, even before this, are very, very good kids. They get along. I have 2 little girls. They're sisters and they're best friends, so it makes life a little less stressful for everybody. We have a new puppy, so that's a fun distraction to play with. And not to make Amanda or anyone cry, but I will say I'm very, very grateful for GetOiling. I know that a lot of you out there have this as an opportunity to grow your business. And for me, I'm an employee of GetOiling. So it gives me such joy to be here to support you all, but also it gives me great security in the fact that I can work from home. My husband works from home already, so we aren't financially impacted really by this. And on top of that, Greg and Amanda, you already homeschool, so you've already reached out a ton for me, trying to figure out how to do all of this at home and work from home and feed my kids and all of the extra things that go into this different sort of style of life that we never anticipated. And the fact that I was able to have this opportunity, my other job, I'm a paramedic, so that's a little stressful, a little crazy right now. And they're so, so flexible and kind. They know that I only work very little for our paramedic service on a normal basis. And now it's changing. Now I have a lot more responsibility and being called in to work in hospital, and just lots of changes. So the flexibility of still giving me a job through GetOiling, but understanding that I have a lot of other community responsibilities now too. So thank you to Greg and Amanda for everything you do.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Kim. I don't know how I can follow that one, but so yeah, I mean, in addition to all of this, of course, everything that you've all said, I'm grateful for the I guess the business niche that we're in, on that side of things. Like, everyone's interested in health right now and being online. They're all at home, so it's like there's such a huge opportunity here too, to be in that space instead of a different space that isn't quite as booming right now, I'll just say. So hopefully it all turns around quickly. But yeah, I'm very grateful to be in that area.
Awesome. Awesome. We're seeing a bunch of comments coming in. You guys are sharing your gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. And we're grateful for you. We're grateful for you as a community. You are such inspired, motivated, heart-centric people, and we love you, and we are about to do a whole lot of good in the world, even more so than we have already been doing. So let's talk about how we can do that. So right now, and Martha, we're going to soapbox on this. And by the way, you guys, if you don't know who Martha is, if you guys don't know Martha Krejci, you probably do. You've probably heard the story about this crazy girl that went gold in 6 months. And you've probably heard of the work that we've all done together. But Martha is doing incredible things and leading the charge and showing distributors how to build in an authentic and powerful way to find your voice and to step up into leadership shoes, to step up into a role that you are meant to fill, so that you can build the business and the life that you want. So we're going to kind of powwow back and forth and soapbox back and forth on some of these topics that we're talking about today. But right now, I put this in here into these slides because I think it's really important for all of us, no matter what the uncertainty we may be surrounded with. That we are here today. We've made the decision to be a part of this company, a part of this movement. And in having done that, we bear a responsibility to step up into leadership shoes right now. And that's every single one of you who's watching this right now. And I'm going to kick this over to Martha to pick up from there.
Yes, 100%, you guys. So from day one, whenever you joined Young Living to when you decided you were going to start, building your business with Young Living, when you joined Young Living, you joined something different. You joined something that came from, ooh, I'm feeling the tears already. It came from the heart and soul of a gentleman that would not quit, of somebody who did not accept status quo, who was being told they can't over and over and over again. That is already in your blood. That is already in your spirit. That is already what you have going for you, you guys. That is just when you started using the products. Here's the deal. Once you decided that you were going to build your business, somebody's calling me right now. Once you decided that you were going to start building a business with Young Living, not only did you accept his products and that sort of thing, what you did was you aligned with the mission, you guys. You aligned with it. You said, I'm going to help get this mission out there Oils in every home, right, you guys? Truth above everything, right, you guys? This is what we're doing. And when you aligned with that mission, that was for good times and bad, okay? We have had years and years and years of heydays, okay? We've had years and years and years of kind of easy times, okay? Some people built their business pretty easily because they were in an easier time, okay? You guys, I am going to tell you right now, this is now the easiest time you could ever build your business. But the thing is, you have to build it from your heart. You cannot build it in search of dollars. You have to build it in service to others, period. You need to go back to align with the vision. Go back. Think it's the whole what would Gary do, right? It's those things. Like I do run it through a filter. Whenever I'm doing anything, it's, am I in service to others? Is this win, 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 win? Does everybody win? Is this in service to others? We are being called at this point to step forward because you guys, how do I say this? There are a lot of things that are not being told to people, okay? That we can have conversations about. I need to just stop there. I feel like I just need to stop there.
It's okay. We can soapbox. I created some slides today to make sure that we get all the points that we need to, because we could be here with you guys all day. But we want to make sure that you can take this and go out into the world and really make a difference. So guys, you're equipped to step up and lead right now. And at the end of the day, it depends completely on your mindset. Martha just mentioned something really important about this not being about the money. This is not about pushing product. This is not about chasing commissions. This is about stepping into a role of service. And that's what leadership is. And it depends completely on your mindset, the success that you will have based on that. So be mindful of the intent that you possess as you are going out in the world to share. Now, Martha, let's talk about how we can get more heart-centered with our message, because I think that what a lot of people are experiencing right now is that there is a run, right? Because right now we're in the middle of a global pandemic. There is a run on disinfecting wipes and sprays and there's and hand sanitizers, right? And there's so many opportunities that we see, maybe more on social media, or conversations are being had about this brand and these ingredients, and all you want to do is just pull out the megaphone and say, why are you doing that? That is a bad thing. These products are wrong. I have a better way, right? Like, how do we get our message across without doing that thing? Because that thing's not effective. That's not actually going to move the needle. So how do we get more heart-centered in our message when we want to share during these times?
Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, just, I mean, in case you weren't listening for the past 20 seconds, that isn't effective, you guys. For the people that are putting in their stories and in their posts and stuff, like, get thieves, da 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 da. You guys, they don't know what that is, okay? They don't. You need to stop acting like people outside of the company are inside of the company. We can all sell to each other all day long because we know we understand what the product is. But if they don't know what that is, it's static and you look gross, and stop doing it, right? Because you don't mean to. I know 100% you don't mean to do it. But the thing is like, you're turning people off. So the way that we are able to lead with a heart-centered message of service is to lead with our bat signal, is to lead with what matters to us. And another thing is, I call it soft education, but it's showing people how you're living life right now. So like, I did a video on my personal page the other day of Nora, because she's home, she was doing laundry. So like, it was her, doing laundry and stuff. And at the end, it was Thieves detergent that was going in there. It's not like you don't have to like push it in people's face. That's not what they want. You want to be able to lead with who you are as a person, the stuff that you've been through, the stuff, like your bat signal is technically the fire that you've walked through, plus the passions that you have, and then you kind of just put it out there, and then all of your people come running to you because they're like, she gets me. She gets me. She's the person that has gotten out of this. She's the person that has been where I am. And it doesn't matter. Disinfecting is such a blanketed thing right now. Like, it's a blanket term, so it's static. So like, from a marketing perspective, that's a message that goes out to everybody but hits nobody right here. But instead, what if you were to talk about how you're cleaning your home because maybe you have a special needs kid? And then you talk about you have a special needs kid, and so you're choosing to do X, Y, and Z. And maybe just do a live video of you cleaning your home, and then really quick say, hey, this is why this stuff matters to me. And that's it. You're not saying, hey, DM me, send me a message and then I'll get you a link and right? It's not about that. It's like, this is why I'm choosing this, because this is what's happening in my household. And the people that are just like you are going to message you, you guys. It doesn't need to be force-fed. It doesn't have to be that way.
That's right. That's right. I mean, so if we aren't coming from a heart-centered place, people can sniff out that we're trying to get them on a pitch. Right? They know, they can feel it. People are smart enough to pick up on that. So be of service, seek to engage people in conversation. Think about what people need right now. We are socially isolating around the world. We need conversation. We need to know that people in our lives care about us, how we're doing, and want to be of genuine help, right? When you can establish that kind of trust and love in a relationship with another person, your recommendation for something that could solve a problem for them is valued, and it's a no-brainer, right? So don't make it about the product first. Don't make it about the fact that you've got a business and you've got a product you can sell them right now. Put the megaphone down. Have a heart first. Be heart-centered first, because when you attract people with that bat signal, they say, she speaks my language, he speaks my language, that's my person, I am here for that. It's going to be obvious to them that they should take your recommendations when you get to that point. But if you come across transactionally, you're always going to hit that wall, right? So seek to serve, and really importantly, and this is so critical right now, being conscious in your actions over being reactive to the situation is what we need to inhabit right now. Right? So this is not about, oh my God, somebody just posted about this brand name icky cleaner. What do I do? We make this about connecting with the people in our community, finding out how we can be of service, opening up a conversation with them that could then lead to a deeper conversation where you make a recommendation and an offer.
Yes.
Martha?
Lead with purpose. Lead with purpose. That's the whole reactionary behavior is, that's hardly ever good unless there's an emergency, right? But whenever we're leading, like with our bat signal, and we're leading with service, you guys, what I've done is I've also jumped into, I'm getting hyper local right now. So while with GetOiling, with the strategy that we do and all of that stuff, it's worldwide, and of course it is. Right now, I'm feeling the need to get very hyper local and support hyper locally. So I'm joining groups that are, like, I live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So I'm joining groups that are Cedar Rapids, like it's like that thing, and resources and whatever. And basically it's where the community is coming together. Let's support the kids that aren't in school. It's the people that are truly making a difference showing up to be able to help each other out. Look for those groups. If you can find those groups, just search your city name. And if a group doesn't exist, maybe you should make one. Maybe you should be the leader. Maybe you should be, like, whenever somebody says, well, but I can't find this, then maybe that's for you to make. Okay. Because if you're feeling the need to be in that group, trust the fact that you're not the only one. Okay. But those groups are actually very, very helpful for people right now. But that's what I'm doing, is I'm leading with that foot. We're doing the best that we can to help the world around us without touching them. Like that's kind of like what's going on with everybody. I mean, it's the strangest way because we've flooded, like our area has flooded many times. So, you know, you go out and you sandbag and you're shoulder to shoulder and you're elbow to elbow with your community. But this way of supporting the community is just so different. So the way that we're showing up is in such a different way. So we're navigating this new space. However, if you've already been doing what we've been doing for a while, navigating this space and being able to help educate people and showing up with your bat signal and all of that, I have a lot of people that are just plain coming to me and asking me questions about what we're doing in our home-based business, what we're doing obviously to make an income, and what we're doing to keep our family safe. They care because they know I've been showing up consistently over and over and over again. If somebody just started showing up today, it's, you know, it looks different than somebody that's been showing up over and over and over again. Here's the thing. If you haven't been showing up before, today is the day to start showing up so you can start building that consistency and trust. You guys, it does not take long. In a situation like we have, it doesn't take long to build consistency and trust of doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, you guys? And when I mean, I'm trying my best not to be ambiguous, but when I say doing the same thing over and over, I mean showing up with the soft education, showing up with your bat signal so you're able to support the community that is just like you. That's what I mean is doing the social media posts, all the things that we talk about on a regular basis. I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Well, so it's fine. We can ping pong. We're ping ponging. So the kind of conscious action that you can be taking right now, and understand that when you are taking conscious action, you're working toward a greater whole, not a specific short-term gain, right? This isn't about like, oh, I could sell a lot of thieves right now. This is about, I could really make a big impact. I could really give, and I could pay it forward. So you could maybe commit to, over the course of whatever your quarantine period is, to give this, this current situation a reference, you could post a daily tip. Here's what I'm doing today, right? Here is what I'm doing to keep peace in my life today. Here is what I am doing to, sorry, just a second. My Siri is activated on my computer and it's doing a really weird thing. Sorry. So you could show up on social media every day and just share a tip. You don't even need to have tech to do that. And I will say there's one thing that in terms of a reaction to what's going on right now, guys, if you want to promote products that Young Living has, that would be beneficial to people during this period, make that content something that you send to your members, right? Make that a thing like, here's my guide. We've got folks who are a part of GetOiling who have created simple funnels around just a simple buyer's guide, right? So here's what you should stock up on. You don't have to leave the house. This is what I'm using. Ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Here's the links. And you're educating your members on how they could better use Young Living right now. But do not expect that the general public who is not in the game, the general public who doesn't know anything about Gary, is going to look at that and be like, oh, I should go buy that right now, because we haven't bridged the gap, right? So that's the reaction, right? Because you're like, oh my God, this is an opportunity. What do I do? You need to do right now what we need to do all the time, right? Which is to show up consciously. So show up and be of service to others, show up and be helpful to others, show up and build trust and relationships with each other, so that when those opportunities arise, people obviously understand that you're the person that they should come to because you've provided help first without asking someone to buy something from you, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's hop on this real quick because this is important and it's tangential to this, kind of, I don't know.
Okay.
So There's definitely media reports going around right now. Maybe you guys have seen them. If you haven't, don't click the links and give them relevance. But there are definitely some articles that are out there right now that are poo-pooing on essential oil companies. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one is mindset, just a general poor mindset, and people being ignorant about the nature of the space that we're in, whether that is literally the networking industry or the wellness industry, right? But the other thing is, and this is really important, that reactive marketing where it's about product and not people, that is fueling it. When we go out and make claims, when we go out and say, oh, but you should be doing this, that is giving fuel to the negative message that people are putting out about the great work that is being done with this company. So don't fuel it. Show up in service, right? Rise above that noise and Martha, go.
I'm sorry. Okay, so our basement flooded. The guy's here at the door. Hang on real quick. I'm so sorry that this.
Oh no, go. It's fine. Guys, this is an interesting time to be alive. and good luck, Martha. We'll have her, I really want her to speak to this, but I think it's really important, you guys, and we'll talk about compliance a little bit here in just, in just a little bit, but a lot of the times where we have concerns around like, can I say that? Is it compliant? The fact is that it's probably something that you don't need to be saying because it's product focused and not heart and service focused. It's not bat signal focused. It's I want to sell you a thing focused. Does that make sense? Quick show of hands. Let me know you're here. Does that make sense? It's going, you're oh, there they go. Woo. All right. I'm glad. I don't have to explain that anymore. Martha, please, let's talk about this.
Okay. Yes. So the entire, first of all, I almost dropped my computer on the floor and that was going to be all sorts of a riot if that actually happened. But so yes, what I'm seeing are definitely people that are what people are doing, and it feels very lack scarcity. It feels very fear oriented, and it also feels opportunistic. And I don't want for anybody to come across that way because we don't want our company to come across that way, right? It's our responsibility to uphold what Gary did in the first place. If you start making it an opportunity, if you start becoming this opportunistic goofball that is like, oh, people are freaked out, I'm gonna get them all, blah, 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 blah. You guys, that was never the intention. The idea, yes, is oils in every home. The idea is for people to understand truth over everything else, but it's not in a fear-based way. It's in a way where it's graceful. It's in a way where again, bat signal, do the things you've been doing forever. So like somebody asked me the other day, I don't remember, my days are going together now, but somebody asked me the other day, well, what do I say to this person that just said this thing? And it was asking about, like a cleaner or something like that. My answer was, what would you have said to him a month ago? That's if you say the same thing you would have said a month ago. You don't say it differently. You don't act like you just do you the same exact way that you've been doing you the whole entire time. If you're changing your business strategy right now into push marketing, you are going the wrong way. Turn around, abort mission. You're going the wrong way. Here's the deal, is large corporations have backed off from push marketing for like the past 5 years. They've been trying to come to like a screeching halt on push marketing. And instead you're seeing affiliate marketing. You're seeing the MLMs. You're seeing the network marketing, relationship marketing, community. You're seeing that stuff instead. That's what we do, you guys. But when you turn it into push marketing, which is essentially putting your product in front of somebody and saying, buy my stuff, when you're going that direction, you're going the wrong way. You're doing it wrong, guys. So like, that's where our bat signal and stuff comes into play. I just started yelling.
And when you are in alignment, and we'll talk about what the bat signal is for those of you who are like, what on earth is that? We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yes.
But guys, if you want to see the needle move, right? Everybody's home right now. So you do have a massive opportunity, but the way that you seize it is not push marketing, like what Martha just said. The way that you seize it is to start conversations from a place of compassion and authority with people in your circle. Start asking them questions. Give people an opportunity to talk about themselves, and you will build enormous credibility and goodwill with people that you're connected with. And the more of that you build, the more trust you build, the more people show up and feel appreciative of the fact that you are someone that wants to hear what they have to say, that you're there for them, that you are concerned about their well-being, their family, and so on. Are they not going to be so much more open when the conversation evolves into one where you can share the thing that's changed your life? You don't make your relationship with them about when you can have that conversation. You first make your relationship with them about your mission, and your mission as it aligns with this company's mission, because it does, doesn't it? Right? So when you're posting, guys, you're going to see an enormous transformation if you just start posting questions and starting conversations. Because when you start one, you get somebody to start talking about themselves, they're going to come back and say, oh, well, then what do you do? Right? Let them talk first. And then they'll say, well, what about you? And then you can say, well, I have something. Let's go talk about it over here. Right? Or I need some more information from you before I can make a recommendation. Let's go have a chat.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Guys?
Yes.
Are you seeing the difference here? Show of hands, show of hands. Let me see. Are we getting this? Yes, we're getting this. All right.
Yes.
So,
And Ashley, one thing that I
yes.
wanted to point here too along this is Michelle Bowman just posted too on the chat. One of the biggest things I have been doing is reaching out to members and non-members just to see what is going on in their homes and their
Yes.
area, letting them know that I care about them, and I don't even talk about YL. So
Yep.
she's just reaching out and trying to form those relationships, which is great at this time too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amanda. And thank you, Michelle.
I suggest reaching out to 10 people a day. I just did this on a live in Goal Getters yesterday. Reach out to at least 10 people a day if you can, just to ask them how they're doing, what's going on with them. And yeah, don't bring up YL at all. It's all about finding out what they're doing. I love that, Michelle. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we need to be doing. That is service to others like nobody's business.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. If you put those things in place, the success follows, right? If you get the mindset right, the benefits follow. And if you have your actions right, of course, the benefits follow. So guys, we have to be really focused right now on the true mission, right? Your mission is to transform lives. Yes, it's to get oils into every home, but what is the bigger picture there? We're not just trying to get a bottle of oil into every home. We are trying to shift the mindset of an entire planet toward a more self-sustaining and earth-sustaining and wellness-sustaining life. This is a shift, a fundamental shift in individuals and in families. This is not, here's a reason I could sell a bottle right now. Here is a relationship that I can touch and transform. Keep that focus. You will have members for life. All right. So let's behave mission focused and have that guide the way that we're communicating and showing up right now, especially right now. The world needs us to show up this way right now. So let's talk about how you can experience expansion right now. Martha, you made a post in one of our groups recently asking people whether or not their business is currently expanding right now, as you know, the economy is contracting and people are, kind of freaking out on the whole. What do you have to share about how expansion is happening and how others can experience that right now too?
Yeah. Well, the people that are it was a student group that I did that in, the Go for Gold student group, and the people that are doing the strategy that we talk about anyway, which I'm sure we'll get into, but that's the people that are doing that. I mean, it was like 99% of the comments. I think everybody was expanding on one point or another. And the expansion was happening both with new signups, with ER orders going up, with it just complete and absolute growth with builders that are signing up other people and that sort of thing. You guys, like, this is how we expand. There was a a belief in our company anyway that you needed to teach classes in order to build your business. And that was a belief for a very long time. Now we're starting to move into understanding that you don't need to do that in order to build your business. Now, if you still choose to do that, that's totally fine. But what you need at the end of the day is you need a system that's going to turn those leads that come from classes, from vendor events, stuff like that. You need those to still go through a system to be nurtured into members, okay? Because even for when we could do classes, which we can't right now anyway, even when we could, those 2 to 3% of the people would sign up at the class, and then what happens to everybody else? If you don't have a system to follow up with them, if you don't have a system to nurture them into members, to nurture no's into yeses or maybes into yeses and that sort of thing, if you don't have that system, you're not growing your business. But regardless, people in Go for Gold are expanding exponentially, growing really, really big, really fast. But here's the thing is they're doing it online, and they're doing it in their own time, and they're doing it while their kids are sitting with them on the couch, and they're doing it when they can, and people are coming to them and they're growing that way. So it's not anything that this company has ever seen before, but it's happening right now. And that expansion is it's mind-boggling how crazy it is, but it's all because people have been showing up with their bat signal. They've been showing up in the way that we talk about, and now people are just like, okay, now I'm ready. Okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. You're just seeing like what Ashley talked about we did a video not too long ago. And she was like, it's like the Jiffy Pop. The popcorn pops at different times. Different people have different time frames on when they're ready. Some people are ready the moment you talk to them. Some people are ready 3 days later. Some people are ready 2 weeks later. Some people are ready 6 months later. Here's the thing. A lot of those people that were going to take a little bit longer to be ready may be ready right now. You may be getting those messages right now. Somebody that wasn't ready 3 days ago might be ready right now. These things are changing very, very quickly. Okay.
That's right. That's right. And I hope that you guys are using the contact manager and GetOiling to keep track of the last time that you spoke with someone that you wanted to share with, because what you need to be doing right now, if you want to experience expansion right now, is just pick a number and reach out to that number of people who are in your contact list, who are your members even also, every day, and just ask them how they're doing. Open a conversation, and don't make it about the product. Don't make it about anything other than them, right? Because the conversation, again, if you make it about them, make it about service, the conversation will always evolve back around to them wanting to know what they can do for you. Because if you create that cycle of energy in a relationship, it reciprocates, right? It's a conscious thing that we can do. We can choose to do this. So reach out to the people that you know, ask them how they're doing, ask them how you can be of service to them, ask how you can be helpful. And if you are, and this is something that we talk about in Go for Gold, if you are cultivating a community of people, a tribe of people, you can invite them to come and join an uplifting community where they can experience that and maybe get out of the negativity of their newsfeed, right? We show you how to build that community inside of Go for Gold. And those of you who are doing it right now, maybe quick show of hands, let us know in the comments, like how much more amazing is the energy in your lead group or your member group, for instance, where you've got people congregating focused on bat signal, focused on passion, focused on meaning, on truth, right? Not on just whatever everybody else is spewing out right now, because there's a lot of it, right? So if you want to experience expansion in your business right now, go touch on those people, go love on those people, and do that consistently every day. Keep track of it in your contact manager. And if you want to, if you love teaching classes, offer a free class and use your GetOiling to create an event and broadcast through Zoom, which is included in GetOiling. You could also broadcast that to a Facebook group as a live. You don't need a Zoom account, you just need GetOiling to do that. So if you do love classes, then that's something you could do, but do a pay it forward class where you're teaching, not where you're pitching product. Right? If you're gonna give a class that helps somebody to get a result right now, or give them something meaningful, and then let that door be open to one-on-one conversations after, right? That's how classes can work really well for you, just to kind of put a pin on that one. All right, so let's talk about the compliant way to say whatever you want, right? This sounds a little triggery. If for those of you who are reading it, who are like, oh wait, I don't know. But the fact is like, if you're mission forward, if you are leading with your personal brand, if you are leading with who you are and the great big vision, I mean, your vision beyond Royal Crown, if that's what you're aiming for, the mission that ties into who you were before you found Young Living, and the thing that threads through as a theme in your life that made you align with this company. What's that bigger thing? If you're putting that out there, if you're communicating through that, through your bat signal, then you aren't talking about product. And like I mentioned briefly earlier when Martha had to hop off, you don't have those, oh, but is it compliant for me to say this conversations anymore? Because you aren't trying to thread the needle, trying to like weave some kind of oily story. You don't need an oily story. You need your story, which is fundamentally oily, right? So Martha, let's talk about this a little bit. Because this, again, guys, this is at the absolute core of what people that are seeing expansion right now are doing. People who have been seeing expansion for a long time, especially online, without having to chase people. They got people coming to them ready. It's because of this thing. It's because of the bat signal. So Martha, tell us about how that works.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's so simple that whenever people hear about it, they're like, oh, well, yeah, of course that's the thing, right? So know that it's awesome and it's simple. But the way that it works is basically you determine, and there's, we have ways for you to be able to determine what your own bat signal is. But whenever you lead with your bat signal, you're going to lead through your own research, your own studying, your own, so you go basically through the challenges that you've been through in life, or the challenges that you're facing currently. So like, just for example, just so it's not totally ambiguous right now, say that somebody has, say somebody has eczema or something like that. So they're researching eczema on their own. So they're Googling all of the things. They're curating a bunch of data. They're reading the blogs, they're trying the things, the seeing what works and the seeing what doesn't work, and all of that stuff, right? Well, whenever that, like, if that were part of their bat signal, they're going to talk about those things. The other people that are also wanting to know more information about that are going to start following your journey. They're going to start they're aligning with you, because they're like, yeah, I've been trying to mess with that too. That's been driving me crazy. You guys, this is how we use social media for good. In case you didn't know how you use social media for good, this is exactly how you do it, okay? It's connection and it's community. So through challenges. I mean, we all have challenges. Let's stop acting like we're perfect, right? Like the social media where we're all glossy and like the perfect filter and all of that. Like, I can't even handle it. I put
People
pretty
don't want
filters on
that.
my messy room though. Yeah, right.
People don't want polish.
That.
Everybody thinks we need to show up in some kind of perfect curated way. I mean, that's Instagram influencer garbage nonsense. Like, people want real relationships with real people. Be you, be your real self, right?
Yes.
And let me pop in on this, actually. There's an example I want to share with you guys. And I think it was just yesterday, someone in the student group was like, I don't know what I'm passionate about outside of these oils and this company, because I'm in this situation where I'm taking care of my grandkids and I'm exhausted all the time. And, and I'm just trying to go day to day. And my question to her was, have you not been working steadily, gathering information to help yourself through that? isn't that list of things that you've researched, that you have been working toward to solve your own problems, isn't that something in an all-encompassing way that's not just literally about a couple of Young Living products? Is that not about you working toward making an entire shift in your life towards something more positive? Right? And then she's like, oh, light bulbs, light bulbs. And then, and this is really important, you guys, because you don't need to have some, super non-compliant, I cured a disease story. You don't need that. It's not compliant, right? You need to have I get it. I'm dealing with this, or I've dealt with this, and I feel where you're coming from, and I am willing to share with you what has helped me, not what's going to cure you, not what's going to fix you, what has helped me, right? So what I shared with this person, and again, I think it was like yesterday, was that, where you are today, even though you haven't completely maybe solved whatever big problem you're trying to solve in your own life or in the world, you guys, we've got people who are like, financial education is something that nobody really has access to in an easy way. So that's my bat signal. And I'm just going to drip out, right? I'm not a billionaire yet, but I know how to get to where I got to, and I can help people who aren't where I am yet. And so no matter what your story is, no matter what your struggle is, you have a way right now, turn around in your life and look back at the steps that you took to get to where you are today. Where you are today is not perfect. None of us are perfect, but there are things that that are going to be absolute magical manna from heaven from someone else. And it's bigger than just what you have to offer with Young Living. It's bigger. It's about your life. It's about what you know. So go be that person who is uplifting someone else right now. And when you say, here's a product that I really love that's worked well for me, can't say it'll do the same for you, but let's talk about what that could look like. They're going to say, yes, sign me up. I want it. Right?
Yes. And there it is. That's how you walk around compliance. It's not even it's almost like when you focus on compliance and am I compliant and all of these things, that gets bigger, and it's almost like you work yourself into a corner. How about looking at all of the rest of everything that is outside of that corner and looking at that like, and here's all of the other ways that I'm able to help, right? And then it's you guys, why do we read books? Why do we learn from other people? It's because we want to learn something from them that they have already learned. They have curated content. They have curated data. They have done the research for us, and we trust them as a person, and we say, okay, I want to learn from them, right? Because I have different mentors of my own for financial stuff and all of that I could just Google a bunch of financial data. I could Google all of that stuff, but hey, I respect them. I respect how they approach the world. I respect how they do business. So I want to hear it from them. I want to know why it matters to them. That's the truth of it. Because you can watch black and white stuff, or you can read black and white data and try to come to your own conclusions and da-da-da. I love you, Green, so much. But you're going to try to, do all of your own stuff, right? But here's the thing is, a majority of the world out there, Greens included, a majority of the world out there is looking to us, or is looking to the person that shows up, and I pray to God it's you. They're looking to the people that are showing up to get that information so they can know to trust you, so they can know to come into your fold, so they know that they want to be in your community, and then you can go ahead and serve them. This is how we serve. It all comes back to service. It was never just about business, you guys. It's all about service, period. But we need to show them how we can serve them, or we can't.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Oof. That's it. Guys, I hope you're loving this. Who's loving this right now? Let me see a show of hands. Let me know you're here. Oh, look at them go. Look at them go. It's so important for you guys to understand that the way that you need to show up right now to the world is to not put yourself inside an oily box. Show up as you, your passions, your intent, your heart to serve others, and the world will align in your direction. All right, so let's talk about, this is important, a heart-centered way for you to grow your team right now. this is really important. It's a thing that we need to address. There's a lot of folks who have home businesses right now who are like, hey, if you want to make a bunch of money, you know, you want to work from home forever. It's really important to make the right considerations, the right choices of language, the right heart-focused, service-focused messages out there so that we can meet people where they need us to. Right? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about a couple ways that you can do this. I've listed as an example here is that if you right now, whether you are full-time doing this, if you're a leader in this business, or you're someone who is just excited at your ability to do that in the future, share your gratitude for your lifestyle and invite a one-on-one conversation. Be really careful not to pitch here. And be really understanding of the fact that right now people might not be, they might not feel comfortable about diving into a business. And we have to be really sensitive about where people are coming from. If you are going to post about business, I'm looking at you, Reds. You need to post from a compassionate place where you are sharing gratitude. And then what you're doing then is just opening the door and saying, all right, if you are someone who is interested in that, and being able to secure yourself. So in the event that something like this ever happened again, you wouldn't have to worry. I would love to have a conversation with you and leave it at that. Don't post in the comments or whatever, just compassionate. Here it is, take it or leave it, and then continue on your day. Right? Martha, how do you approach this?
Yeah, I've been doing a number of things, and I'm doing what I feel, first of all, that I feel my heart is leading me to do. So that's something that just pay attention to the inner dialogue, pay attention to what you feel divinely inspired to do. Just pay attention to that stuff, because we've all got, I feel like, different antennas up for, we're all called to do different things. But for me, what I'm doing is I'm living life, and I'm doing what my dad did. I lost my dad 7 years ago to a massive heart attack. I feel like shouldn't have ever happened. That's a long story, but I'm doing what my dad did for me for his entire life. And he lived in grace, and he lived in love and in service to everybody. And he just let me watch him do it. And that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just showing up, showing people what my life looks like on a day-to-day basis. And if they have questions about it, they're going to ask me about it. So some of those posts are going to be some behind the scenes, here's what it looks like for me to be making my living right now. Like, here's what it looks like. And it can be Mike just taking a picture of me talking to my laptop. So people understand the real nature of it, and that things don't need to be perfect, and that you don't need to have a grand setup, and it doesn't, that it's really nothing more than you and your people, regardless of what that communication looks like, if you're talking to a device or not, right? So that's what I am doing the most. I'm also reaching out to my leaders and making sure that their heads are good, that their mindset is on point, and that they're not coming from a place of fear. Because I feel I get very mama hen, and I take care of my leaders, and I make sure that they're in a good place mentally, because if they're in a good place mentally, they're going to be able to continue doing their thing. Because at the end of the day, we, like in network marketing, it's not our job to sign up our entire team. We make sure that our leaders are also, have what they need to move forward. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm doing a lot of checking in on people. And I'm hearing be prepared, you guys, when you check in on people with a heart that is open to really be of service, you may hear some things that break you down a bit. And it's not break you down like tears you up or anything, but you're going to hear stories that are going to be heart-wrenching, okay? But the thing is, you guys, we have to show up in that fire next to them. We have to show up and link arms with them, because if they're going through it, we need to go through it with them. That's it's our community. We don't just show up for the good times, you guys. We show up for all the times. And there are people on my team that are going through things outside of what everybody else is going through. They're going through their own personal stuff that adds a lot of things to that. But I'm still reaching out and I'm making sure that they're good even in the process. So it's really just a lot of showing up and letting people see it. So social media posts of behind the scenes stuff, social media posts of here's what my family's doing in the house today. You guys, that's all we have. And that's all that anybody has. So it's almost better in that they can set their file of what their home looks like right now next to the file of what your home looks like and be like, that looks very similar. So I could probably be doing the same thing as her. Maybe we should have a conversation. Those are things that's up to their mind and how they process information, but we're leading them to that. We're showing them that we're very similar and that we have the same circumstances and that we're doing it. And so then they can deduce that they can do it as well. That's how I'm doing it.
Awesome. Awesome. For those of you who are sharing this message of opportunity, who are seeing results from it, who are, coming from this heart-centered place, feel free to share in the comments what's working for you. I think that we can all agree right now that we are looking at a moment of opportunity. But it's very important for the energy that you approach this from to not be opportunistic.
Yes.
Right? So heart focused. All right. So want to talk about a little bit about a couple of things, you guys. Number one, there is a free Facebook group. If you are not a part of this, oh my gosh, get over there today. It is because of Gary, Gold Getters. Search this on Facebook. There's over 10,000 people in this group. It's an amazing community. Martha is live in there all the time doing great trainings, bringing in experts. Guys, it's incredible in there. There's so much love. There's so much help and support. There's so much community, Team YL happening in there. Yeah, I mean, I just pitched it. Martha, do you have anything you want to add to that free group description?
Oh, heck yes. This is the best business building young living group on the internet, period, you guys. It is people truly helping each other cross line. It's everybody linking arms. I do training. I do social media training. All you do is when you pop in there, the first suggestion is to go into the unit section, check out everything that is available there. There are things to help you grow your OGV, things to get people on ER. There's a 90 days to silver thing. There's all sorts of stuff in there. It's a free resource, you guys. We have Dr. Ollie Banker in there. We have Dr. Doug Corrigan. We had Bethany Shipley in there the other day. Like, it's the thing that is pushing the needle. You guys, I have heard of corporate members of corporate that have gone into Diamond's teams very, very recently, i.e. yesterday, and we're talking about exactly what we're doing in Gold Getters. You guys, we're on the edge. So if you look at like what we do, there's like an early adopters thing. There's a whole, I'm going to just do a little bell curve here. There's a few people that will start doing something as early adopters, and then more people will pick up and pick up and pick up. And then the tidal wave happens whenever everybody's like, oh, that's what's going on. And then you've got enough people in there that it just becomes like a movement. You guys, we've passed movement. We've passed a movement? That is not what...
You've passed critical mass. You've passed critical mass. How about that?
Thank you. So things like that happen often also. So
there's a lot of comedy in the group. A lot of comedy.
Yeah. So, but we've passed critical mass. People are, even all of Young Living, if you look at Silverbound, if you look at what has happened with Silverbound, You guys, that's something that I've been teaching for a long time that all of a sudden just now is now backed by corporate. You guys, this is the cutting edge. This is the future. What we're doing to grow our businesses are what people will be doing moving forward. So get in now, start doing this stuff, because unless you want to wait. If you want to wait, that's totally fine. It's no big deal. But if you want to get moving now, do it. Get in the group and start moving.
Mm-hmm. And if you are ready to take your business to the next level, to have a system in place, to understand, like, just really to have all of these pieces together, right? Where you have a complete system, you know how to show up, and it will grow and scale with you. You want to get Go for Gold. How many of you here right now have Go for Gold? Let's see some hands, and shout it out in the comments. Woo, look at all those hands. So many hands, so many hands. You guys, we have worked really hard to build really the most comprehensive system that exists. I mean, it's the most comprehensive system I have seen that exists in this industry, period. I've consulted with other companies, leaders in other companies in this industry, no other oily ones, to be fair. Won't do that. But guys, there is no more complete system that exists to show you how to establish yourself, find your voice, and to broadcast your voice, to get your bat signal out to the world so that you're attracting people who are ready to have those conversations with you. So you don't have to worry about whether or not that post is compliant, because you're not posting product, you're not posting medical stories, you are posting message, and people are like, that's my people, I want to be a part of that. Right? If you want to know how to do that, we teach you how to do that in here inside of a supportive group. If you're already using GetOiling, this literally tells you how to plug things into the system and gives you the templates that you can edit with your own voice. It's all pluggable, playable, and ready to go. You have your own beautiful professional online system when it's all done. So we do want to make sure you guys know about this. If you use this code right here, new GG member, when you sign up new, you're going to get $70 off the price. We are really excited to have you guys here. And of course, you know, again, go get in that free group. If you do nothing else today, go get in this free group and start to see how others are using this knowledge to be purpose focused in their business and be purpose focused in their communication, and the way that that is actually right now, you guys, transforming businesses of Young Living distributors. And here's the thing, and this is a really important thing that I want to point out. There's a lot of leaders in the company who have, you know, they've written a book, they've made a course, they've done a thing, right? The stuff that's taught here, I am very familiar with a lot of the programs and stuff that are made, and it's a lot of really great stuff, and you should get it, and you should use it, and you should like take all of the knowledge in that you can. But what I want to impress upon you guys who are here right now is that, you know, coming from someone who has a background of consulting with leaders in the industry on message and on strategy and on duplication, and having worked with corporate, I can tell you that what is taught here is the thing that works. Right? It's the thing. It's not a fad. This is not a thing that you'll do for a bit and it'll get you some results, and then on to the next thing when the next thing pops up. You don't ever need another shiny object ever again if you understand at the core how this thing works and you follow the process that's been outlined. And the crazy thing is, you guys, it's not just applicable to what you're doing with Young Living. It's applicable to a bigger picture version of you showing up in the world and making an incredible impact, and seeing your dreams, your visions come to life for the way that you can impact the world. It's bigger, right? Gary always said this was bigger, right? This is not just about product, right? So Martha, I want to let you, you know, pop that off. You want to say anything more there? And then we're going to get into some Q&A if we've got any. And yeah, who loved this?
Yeah. Man, right? I just got all lost in your words there for a minute in the best way possible. I was like, yeah, girl, yeah. You guys, when she said that this is bigger than just Young Living is bigger than Young Living.
Yes.
What we do, how we show up, how we serve. Young Living is the products that we bring to people, right? But the way that we serve is our heart and our soul and our example. It's how we ripple out with the society that we live in. And any time of day, this is good a week ago, this is good today, this is good a month from now. Like she said, it is scalable. You can take this up to Royal Crown Diamond. You don't need anything else. This is the system. It's not like you do something in your star and senior star and all of a sudden you got to change things up, right? Like it's not working anymore. This is the system that scales you to Royal Crown Diamond and beyond, right? And then aside from that, I mean, we could talk about it another day, but aside from that, you can build all sorts of stuff. This can be what your main income stream, but you can also have many others. We can talk about that another day. But this is much more than what you may even be thinking it is right now. And I love that you're thinking about it at all. But it's bigger. It's likely much bigger than what you're even thinking right now. It's
awesome,
so cool.
Awesome.
So cool.
So let's pop over into some Q&A. And I want to hear from you guys. When I'm sharing my screen, I can't see the chat. Oh, so much love over here. Oh, you guys. Got a whole lot of people who are members of Go for Gold already. They already have all of it. They love you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. Oh yeah, the link is it's Facebook, facebook.com/groups/wild gold getters. But if you search those hashtags, you'll find that group. Awesome. We do have some questions. All right, so Anna Marie says, can you go into detail of how you can start showing up today and what we can do? I hope that you picked up on some of that, but in case you came in late, really the most important thing you can do right now is start showing up and touching on those relationships you have with people, not with the intention to sell them something, but with the intention to show up and be there for them, right? Martha, what do you do specifically where that's concerned? You said 10 a day?
I do 10 a day. And that's a scalable number. You can scale down if it's not sustainable for you as a person, right? Because sometimes people 10 a day, they're like, oh, I can't do 10 a day. And in that case, I say, then do 7, then do 5. The only number you can't do is 0 because that's not scalable. 0 becomes 0 always, right? So if you can only do 1 a day and feel like that's what you can do every day, then do that. But the thing is we need to consistently be reaching out to people. And you guys, somebody that I would be reaching out to even more, like I would throw like a 50-50 ratio of reaching out to people that are in the service industry, that are business owners, that are not getting their income right now. Reach out to them, and then also just reach out to like other people. But make sure that you're checking in on everybody, because the people that are not making incomes right now, they need help. What do they need from you? How can you help? How can you serve? Right? So that's what I do is I reach out to 10 people a day, and yeah. And I just ask them how they're doing. Hey, how are things? Hey, I was just thinking about you. How are things? It's not a weird thing to say, especially right now. It's not weird. Hey, I was thinking about you. How are things? You work in restaurants. I worked in restaurants for 14 years, you guys. That's scary. That is scary because a lot of restaurant workers, now I'm going off down a thing, but a lot of restaurant workers, servers, bartenders, cooks, anybody, a lot of restaurant workers, you get paid on the work you did that day. And that's sometimes all that there is. Okay. So there's not extra money padded up in a bank account. There's not, it's day to day. And right now the day to day stopped. So we need to be checking in on them and making sure that they're okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's get real. Let's put ourselves in people's shoes.
Absolutely. All right.
One of the
yeah.
people had commented on here of what a great way to use your Zoom right now is even to say, hey, you know what? Anybody that wants to join me for coffee this morning or this afternoon, you know what I mean? I love that idea of just being able to meet like this with your friends, with your downline, with, you know what I mean? Just making those connections and not really talking about what's going on or talking about YL, but just meeting them as if you're going out with your girlfriends and just having that cup of coffee and having that interaction with people that are stuck at home right now. That is awesome way to do that too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And guys, again, if you don't know, if you already have a GetOiling account, you don't have to go get a Zoom account. You could go provide that value right now. And actually, just to answer a question an anonymous attendee asks, can you please show an example of service and value oriented marketing? Literally doing that thing. Hey, I'm going to be hosting a coffee talk at this time and this date, and I'm going to provide this specific thing, right? So all you have to do is show up, and I'm going to share with you this thing that I know. That is service and value oriented marketing. And it's not even really marketing, right? It's just being a good human and showing up for other people. And the funny thing is that's what marketing is today, right? Mm-hmm. Paying it forward. That's like the funnel that you built with Go for Gold, the funnels that you can build inside of GetOiling. Yeah, they're technically marketing, but what you're doing is using a system to pay it forward, to build trust with someone so that they would be open to getting suggestions from you should it be a fit in the future, right? It's just streamlining the filtering process of the the folks around you and identifying the ones who are the best fit. That's it. Yes. So so when I'm asked about thieves, and there's another question, can you post an example about thieves? Why, what kind of Facebook post, whatever. So if I'm asked about thieves, what do I say, how do I say that it is these things, the benefits in compliance? You don't, right? Like you have a conversation about their values. You have a conversation about why these benefits of this would be important to them. And then you go let them read what Young Living has to say about it. Mm-hmm. Right? You're not the salesperson. Yeah. You're connecting with the need.
Yeah, exactly. I would ask, because here's what people will do. People are used to, we are all used to somebody saying that they're selling something, and then we start poking holes or trying to, right? Because that's what that's what we do. And so don't feel bad when people start trying to poke holes at your stuff. It's just a behavior. It has nothing to do with you. So whenever people ask you about, like, when you say that you've got thieves or whatever, they start asking you about thieves, that's where you go into the conversation cheat sheet that's in Go for Gold, and you start asking them consultative questions about themselves. You start asking them what they're looking for. Why are you asking me about thieves? What are we hoping to accomplish here? Because if this isn't the right thing, let me point you in the right direction. So if somebody says, well, why are you asking me all these questions? Because I want to make sure that what I'm suggesting is even good for you in the first place. What are you hoping to accomplish? Because if somebody says, hey, tell me about thieves, and you just barf on them about thieves, right? Probably a bad example, but you just, barf on them, I'm gonna say it anyway, about thieves.
Verbal barf,
right? About thieves, then they're going to be like, okay, I've got my data, and I'm going to Amazon. And that's the behavior that you have set up yourself, because they asked you a question, you gave them an answer, and now they don't even know to do anything else other than go buy the thing that you were just talking about. Now, when you have a when you go through the conversation cheat sheet, then they're going to understand a relationship is being built. You're asking them questions to help them with what they need. So of course you're going to be helping them get what they need, right? There's so many things that are intrinsically involved in having that conversation that, like, if somebody asks you something and then you just ping pong right back to them, like, here's the answer, they're going to be like, awesome, thank you, boom, out. Mm-hmm. And we don't even know if that's what they want.
Right. And that's the result that you get if you don't help them to bridge the gap of understanding of what's in it for them. Right. And yes. If you haven't done the work to dig and figure out what the thing is that they want, then you can't connect those dots for them. Right. You can't just pop a product out and expect for them to go, oh, brilliant. I mean, that's not usually how that works. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So can you do an example about Thieves Cleaner? What kind of Facebook post would you do? You know what I would do? I would have, like, a curiosity style post, like maybe it doesn't necessarily show the name or whatever, and be like, hey, super glad this was delivered to my door and I didn't have to fight people in the, grocery store aisles for this. and I feel good about you. You know, you don't have to say, actually, I would leave it at that. I would leave it at that. I mean, you could say, and it's this, it's that. And, you know, and I feel good about using it around my kids. Right. Like you don't pile on, because then you sound like you're selling, but like, you know, just what's the thing about it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly how I would do it too. Or I have, maybe a little video or a picture of Nora cleaning up her own stuff, or a bottle of it right next to the brownies we just made. Hey, who else feels okay with their cleaner being right next to their food? Doesn't make a difference to me, because we could literally drink it if we had to, or not if we had to, but if we drink it, we're not going to hurt ourselves. Man, I am just, these words are coming out today.
We get it though. Like that's, so pick a point about it and post about the point, not it. Right?
Yes.
All right, Erica, how can we help people with businesses transfer to an online platform like GetOiling to help them understand how to create member content, dietitians, yoga, physical therapy? So if you have these folks in your organization, get them into GetOiling and go for gold, because we literally walk you through. I mean, you could go through Go for Gold right now as a health coach and come out on the other side with an absolute banging lead system, and basically product, especially if you add the 28-day challenge, like you got something you could sell. If you have like, you know, yoga, dietitians, physical therapy, whatever, like you could sell the stuff that you learn how to do in this. So if they are not, then you say, I have a way for you to insert here from the conversation that you have. Great question, Erica. And if you want to get with us with GetOiling separately, definitely reach out. We can talk about that some more. All right. Is there a way in GetOiling to set up a choose class you want to attend? i.e., let's say I want to offer the same class 4 different times during the week and let people choose the time that works for them, or do I have to set up different events each time? So if you're doing live events, you would have to set up different events for the times that they're happening. You could also set up a landing page and have people be notified that way instead of using the events feature, and then just set up a recurring Zoom call for whatever those times are. The other option, the leveraged option, is to make a video and have it available on demand on the other side of a landing page. We show you how to do that and go for gold. All right, Kelly, can you give some advice on how to help someone who is in a place of real poverty? They were already in a desperate financial situation, then husband lost his job. Okay. I'll talk about this because I've been there, and that's where I was when I got started in this industry. Being in a tight place, like being in a point of no return, don't think I could go any lower than this place. It transforms our willingness and our mindset around taking real action. When you have hit that bottom and you never want to feel it ever again, sometimes you're willing to take extraordinary action. That's usually that's the point where it happens. I mean, people, when I was getting started and was getting, you know, a lot of results really quickly, people were like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, I mean, I have a reason, right? I have a kid and I want her fed. And I started out this far away from that not being possible anymore. It'll transform the way you operate. And we can't make people feel that. We can't create that sense of urgency in others. And we can't count on, when someone might be close to that, them actually doing the thing, right? It's really a very personal thing. So what you can do is offer support and to let them know that what you have access to is for anyone who wants it. The opportunity is the same for anyone who wants it, and that you will be supportive of them no matter what they choose to do. Obviously, don't, be ethical in the way that you are presenting the opportunity. Use the IDS, be super clear, but say, look, there are stories, there are people who have transformed their lives in difficult situations. And then, if it is really literally, I don't know how I would be able to get started from a financial perspective, don't push, but offer suggestions. I sold my TV and a computer when I got started. I got a better one later that year, right? So I'm not suggesting that you ask people to do something like that, but if they are serious, then help them be creative and be supportive. And also, really, just so importantly, you guys, have the IDS and be compliant when you share. And show up as a friend and love your people, you know, like Martha said, like be there with them through it. Because that's the most important thing we can do right now is be human. All right, Deb, I need to update my member list when I download my members from Young Living and upload it into GetOiling. What happens to existing member if they have opted out of the text option? Will the new upload override their preferences? Deb, no. That is, Greg, I'm correct there, right? It does not change
Yep.
if somebody...
It does not change the opt-out settings at all.
All right,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about like reaching out to people or, you know, having automated stuff reach people who said no. The system remembers that. All right, haven't had any leads from my website. I've shared via social, email, text. How else can I get people to visit? So Lisa, I don't know if you're using the Go for Gold system, but we teach ways for you to get more exposure through things like blogging and creating videos and social posts that are speaking to a need or an interest that someone has, as opposed to saying, I have a business, here's the website, right? So if you can frame what you have to offer on your website in the context of what might be of service to others, then they're going to be a lot more interested in checking it out. Does that make sense? All right, we're gonna like kind of close these out. Use the, I don't know, we're really going long here. Thank you guys for sticking around. All right, Tamara says, I'm in a local group and every single hour there is a post about loss of income. I don't have a personal relationship with any of them. How can I help them? Martha, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah.
What would you do? Yeah.
Yeah. So again, on your personal page, I'm gonna connect this with it in just a second. But on your personal page, you need to be showing up and sort of showing what your life looks like right now, not in a way to rub anybody's nose in it. Again, we're being very, very graceful in what we're doing. We're not saying, boy, I'm glad that I'm not affected, right? Like that's
Right.
not the energy of what we're doing, because that's not how we feel. It's not truly how we feel. I'm freaking grateful. I am like beyond, I am so grateful that this company exists for us to be able to do these things and to have built this out. But I'm grateful for a lot of things, right? So make sure that you've got that stuff going on your personal page, okay? Now within the groups, whenever somebody's saying that they're having a loss of income, things that you can say are, you know, what are you really good at? Like try to help them with because maybe this isn't for them. We can't say that it's for everybody. Okay. So what are the things that you're really good at? Try to help them get their gears moving. When you move forward in a place of service, they will come around to your page and they're going to see that you work from home and they're going to know that you didn't try to solicit them. And then they're going to start asking questions. And the reason why is because you were a human to them the entire way. So be of service. Say like, what are you good at? I know that there are some different places like Upwork, like Freelancer. There are things that you could maybe, you know, like that if you're looking for income, like if you're really good at data entry and stuff like that, here's something that would be good. Or, you know, like just some work from home things that maybe you know about, whatever comes up with what they're good at, right? And maybe just in having that question of what them trying to deduce what they're good at, maybe they're going to find the solution to their own question. But here's the thing, you guys. You will see sharks in the water. You will see people pop into the comments saying, well, I do this and I make this much and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You need to tie your hands behind your back, look at those comments and do not add to that, okay? You're coming from grace. You're coming from service. Do not add to that thinking, well, they're going to take one of those opportunities and da-da-da-da-da. They're going to take your opportunity because you're not doing that.
Right.
Sorry.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Yep. That's it. And I wouldn't even necessarily post in there. But you could, if you were, and if this is on your heart and this is something that you're willing to do, you can say, you know, I am seeing a lot of comments in here about this. I am someone who is able to successfully work from home. What I do might not be for you, and I'm not interested in pitching any of you, but if I can be of help, if you want advice and it's something that could be helpful to you, I am here for you. And do not pounce when people respond. Have conversations, establish relationships, and go about it in that heart-centered way. All right, let's see. Is there a checklist or order of completion for Martha's courses? I have 3 of them. Inside of GetOiling, the structure is helpful, but inside of Facebook groups, I get distracted in the feed. Like, there's a lot of content. So what is the order, Martha?
So now, here's the thing, you guys. I just continue to find things that my own team needs. And so when I find things that my own team needs, I'm just like, okay, well, I assume everybody else needs this too. So as I create it for my team, I create it for everybody. So go for gold first and foremost, without question. Okay, that is absolutely and 100% the very first thing to do. After that, I would do bring on the builders, because go for gold and bring on the builders together. Bring on the builders is how you bring builders onto your team, but it's a daily sort of activity. So go for gold and bring on the builders are like that, sort of like that ball of wax. Like, they just should go together. Something that's being added, or that has recently been added and is starting on April 1st, is Silver Made Simple. That's going to be a year of checklists, of daily checklists. It's also going to be the onboarding experience I believe that everybody needs with Young Living. How do you find your link? There's going to be little videos, right? So how do you find your link? How do you, where do you email to strategically place, right? It's all going to be those little things that as soon as you sign somebody up, everybody's asking you questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? It's all going to be there. And then it's going to have campaigns that you guys don't even need to know about, but they're going to be different campaigns to reach out to different types of people in your world. And that's going to go throughout a year. And then you can it's a one-time buy-in thing for that. You can do it over and over and over again if you want to. It's also going to walk you through Silverbound is the idea. So there are those 2 things. Oh, we got Barkins. There are those 2 things. And then after that, 20 and 30, whenever you guys want to do it. 20 and 30 is recruiting 20 people in 30 days. It's my play on the Eric Worre thing. However, it's the oily way. It's the way we have to do it, because God bless him, but he has to do it very high level, like prepaid legal services and nail wraps isn't the same thing as Young Living. God bless them all, right? But we have to do things a different way. We come from a different place. So 20 and 30 would be the other thing. And then Diamond Lane is the mastermind group. That's advanced. That's where you move into personal branding, that sort of thing. But yeah.
Awesome. So start with Go for Gold. If you haven't done that yet, do it.
Yes.
Do one module at a time. Don't skip. This is not Netflix. Do not binge watch.
It's not Netflix. Yes.
And and there's amazing supportive groups for these as well. All right. So when you check in on someone, this is from Nicole, how do you serve them and their needs without selling a product that we use? I can tell them what I use all day when they tell me their situation, but how do you convert that without being salesy? We have cheat sheets for that first.
Yes. Convert the conversation. That's there's the magic sentence in there. If you're not in Go for Gold yet, there's a magic sentence in there. There's 4 benchmarks you should hit in a conversation to be able to uncover needs. Okay. So we actually know what they need. And then after that, there's a sentence that you're going to say that's going to turn everything into either a Young Living product or a business opportunity conversation. And it's not going to feel salesy. It's going to feel in complete alignment. You will not, even my yellows out there are not going to be like, oh, I'm not saying that, right? Like you know what I'm saying? But like that, everybody, it's so heart-centered, and that's what it should be, because we're asking them questions in order to what? Serve them, right? We're not asking questions to sell them something. We're asking questions to be able to serve them. So that's this one statement in the Convert the Conversation sheet. I think it's in the Conversation Flow module. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's off to the right. There's the 2 PDFs. But yeah, it's one sentence and it changes everything. So that's where that is.
Yeah, you gotta show up, be human, be there for them, and then you're gonna be connecting the dots, right? It's all about that intention that we talked about earlier. It's about showing up with the intent to serve. Like the product will lead its way in. They will find their way to the product if you're following the conversation. All right. Okay. Jenny says, absolutely love Martha's heart. It's interesting that she says 10 came just in time for us to flourish in these times. So divinely guided, sharing and serving like a human and brother and not like a robot. Was taught different, loving the relearn. Yeah, okay. She's loving the relearning process. Sorry, I'm trying to read the way you talk. All right. So this is a question for Greg, actually. If we have members downloaded in our contact manager, how can we import member lists for previous years? Will it overwrite, or do I keep current list and manually add members that are inactive?
It's going to try to deduplicate based on, kind of depends on your file. If you have a member number in there, it's going to try to deduplicate by that. Otherwise, it'll try to deduplicate by email. You'd probably want to start with your oldest people first, because the more recent lists that you would load, the more recent files are more likely to have up-to-date contact information in them. So you don't want to start with the newest and work backwards. Otherwise, you probably end up with their old email or their old address or something. So go the other way around if you at all can. It does its best to not deduplicate, but there's some cases like where it just can't because something's completely different on there. So hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Norashida says, my market, Malaysia, are not checking their email. So the GetOiling system is not working well with my community. How can I overcome this issue? Greg, I'm not sure if that's a market that we're able to do text marketing in. We do have global text marketing capacity. It's not in every single country, but we can check on that. But I would say use groups, use the member area, use your vaults. And the thing about whether or not people like, should I text, should I email? The thing about that, you guys, people will do what you condition them to do. People will do what you outline and expect them to do. People think that because text marketing is super, it is super responsive, to be fair, but it's also kind of a fad in the big picture that like people, don't do email anymore. Well, no, they do. It's like people really do email, but they need to expect to hear from you. I currently have 27,966 unread emails in my many inboxes on my computer. But you know what? I look for emails from the people that I want to hear from, right? And so you need your people to expect to hear from you. Greg, were you able to see if that's a market that we do text in?
It is, yeah. I mean, the texts are, kind of on the high side of credits. I don't know what they are offhand, but it is possible to do that, to send text messages to people in Malaysia. The key is you have to have the country code inside the contact manager in their mobile number. So just be sure to have that, and then it should work. You could test it on yourself, for example, if you wanted to. Awesome.
So that is something, and I've heard that before about Malaysia, that text marketing is pretty effective there in particular. So you can use us for that. Super cool. All right. How do you talk about the financial opportunity when you aren't even making enough to cover your own ER order? Martha, you want that?
Yeah, I'll take that. Sorry, I was reading it too. So basically what you do is you get excited. So even me in the very beginning, my first people that I ever signed up were business related. And I didn't have anything at all. So it's catching the vision. What are you excited about? Are you excited that there's a system? Are you excited that there's something that's duplicating over thousands of times at this point? Are you excited that this is different? Are you excited that while maybe you have tried network marketing in the past, you really couldn't sink your teeth into it because you didn't know what to do? Are you excited that you now know what to do and you have direct communication with the people who are doing it? Are you excited about that, right? Because that's all that matters. Excitement is contagious. If you're excited about your future and what this is going to do for you, nothing else matters. I sat across tables from friends of mine and I was like, you guys, here's this thing. And this is before there was a system, right? This is before I even created Go for Gold. But at that time when I had nothing, I didn't even have like a sane excitement. It didn't even make sense why I was so excited. But I was like, I sat across the table from him and I'm like, guys, here's the comp plan. Here's what I see for this. I think we can do this. I think we got this. Are you in? And they were in. And those are my first people. And then we started building momentum, and then, you know, the rest is history. But it all came from excitement. My first people were business builders, you guys. And it was all because I was like, hey, listen, we're going to change some things. Let's change some things. And now they're happy.
Yep. Now
they're glad that we had that coffee date.
Yeah, right? So you remember earlier on in the call when I was talking about, you know, you don't have to be perfect when you are sharing your story. You don't need to have achieved some state of perfection to be someone of service and help to others who would want to follow your lead. The same thing works for the business. Have vision, share the vision. Say, hey, listen, you know, I have finally got a system in place and I'm really excited and here's where I'm going. Do you want to come with me? Right? You don't have to have a rank in this company or any amount of specific success in this company. It all starts somewhere. And where it starts is, here's where I'm going. Do you want to come?
Yep.
People want to work with people who are going somewhere. So be someone going somewhere. All right, let's see. In terms of talking about Dreamers Academy, definitely get into the group. That's going to be something that you're going to want to talk about over there. In terms of how you want to share that with others, definitely ask Martha that there. Erica, not sure which unit you're referring to. The whole of Go for Gold is going to be something that's of service to people who have oily adjacent businesses. If they were going to build and using GetOiling specifically with Go for Gold. That's something, if you are a coach, if you have information to sell, our platform is built for you to do it. So you can co-brand the whole thing. And obviously the intricacies are not gone into for those businesses, but the overarching strategy and the way you actually use the system and how it works it's a whole of the course thing. But we can definitely have a conversation about that if you want to reach out. Let's see. In terms of app integrations, I mean, we've got functionalities that are like in Enrique that are like in the system of GetOiling, but it's email and text. In terms of WhatsApp integration, that's kind of a bigger thing. I don't know, maybe reach out to that.
Yeah, I've actually looked into that a little bit, and they have some, much like Facebook Messenger, which in theory is another thing we could always integrate with. I mean, we're connected to their platform and they have very strict requirements about no marketing. Otherwise the whole integration gets shut down. So it's something that is just, too high of a risk to integrate.
Yeah. So WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. Facebook, guys, Facebook is not supportive of our industry. So you put yourself at risk, if you're using it outside of the way that they say you should use it. And we want what you build in GetOiling to be something that is yours, that is protected, and that continues to work for you. In terms of the countries that we have text capability in, Enrique, can you send us an email? Because I know you got a couple of really good questions around tech. support@getoiling.com. You're going to be amazed at how quickly you hear back, and we're excited to hear from you. All right, GetOiling question.
We can text to, just a quick interruption there. We can text over 200 countries, so odds are very high that it is supported, but we can check for sure.
Yeah, we just don't want to keep you guys on here for like another hour trying to make sure we get that all listed out. All right, so when will a GetOiling app be launched? Guys, it is an app. It's an app that lives in your browser. It's fully mobile responsive. You can shrink it down. You can make we actually have, is that in a support article, how to put like an icon for GetOiling on your phone or your device?
I think it is. If not, you can email us, at support at GetOiling. But yeah, there's a way to add, on any phone that you have, you can add a website as an icon on your home screen, so it looks and behaves like an app then.
Yeah, we are technically an app. And the interesting thing is that a lot of the apps that you see in the App Store are basically just a holding space for a browser, where you're actually just doing the stuff inside of a browser anyway, which is what you do with GetOiling already. So we're actually removing a layer of complication in doing it this way. All right. Martha answered, it was a conversation flow. Got it. Okay, awesome. Erica, you're amazing. Guys. So many good questions today. We've gone super long. I hope you all have loved this. I hope that you've been served by this. And again, we're just so grateful to have you all in the community, to be a part of this movement and to support you in growing, and being the change that you want to see. I want to kick this back over to Martha and the team. I've spoken enough today. You guys, let's have our send off here.
Yeah, this is, I love the times that we're living in right now. I love it because it's forcing us to show up in a way that I've been wanting to show up anyway. So what we're being forced to do now is we're being forced to love on each other and to really see each other in a different way that we were seeing each other before. And you guys, whenever we show up in service, you can grow your business really fast this way. And it's the best way to grow your business, because when you go to bed at night, you have served and you have made an income, and your family will be blessed, and you will be blessed, and all of the things, right? But you have served. So it's not like you just, you sold some nail polish or whatever. You served. You have now changed someone's world, whether it's just from an oily perspective and it's just them. But you guys, it's very rarely just the one person that you signed up that's life's changed, okay? Because it's got that ripple effect. You guys, we live in a world where we are able to serve in a whole different way, and we're teaching you exactly how to do it so we can come correct, and so we can do it from our hearts and still be massively successful. My hope and my prayer for you guys is that you do this and that you show up, and then you tell us about your wins afterward, because that is what I live off of. I live off of you guys winning, and I live off of you guys with your hearts full every day, just knowing that you're able to help other people. That's what I geek out on. Okay. But that's my bit.
Amen. Love it. Team, you want to chime in?
Yes, I would like to. And, just kind of going back to our being thankful when we started this, I am very thankful for all of you that have come to this Zoom call today, all of our customers. We just really appreciate all of you. And, over the last few days, we have even heard from you in our inbox of just all of you saying, oh, we really hope that you guys are doing great. We really hope, you know what I mean? And it's just this is a family, truly a family that we have in Young Living, and we have as a group within GetOiling here. And we just really appreciate you guys, and we want to show that to you. And I want to tell you guys that right now too, and then too, we are a praying group. So please, if you guys need any prayer or you just need something, send it to our inbox. We are here for you, whether that be GetOiling or if you need some form of prayer. You guys are our family, and we appreciate you.
I don't know how I can follow that again twice in one day, but thanks everyone for being here today. It's been an awesome event. We've had record attendance here as we were watching our numbers, so we're all very grateful for each and every one of you who've joined us today and puts their trust in us in this new online world that we're forging here. So yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Kim, you wanna say a couple things before we go? We don't hear from you that much.
I know. I was just going to say, I don't know. After all four of you have said something, there's not much else to say, really. It's just really a blessing to be able to come here every week and to know that even if we do have extended periods of time that we're home and uncertainties, that you can rest assured that this is a constant. We'll be here for you. We're here every week for you. We're here in the inbox for you. So, I love being able to reply to your guys' messages in the emails. We are here to serve. Just as you're trying to figure out your way to serve your communities, with your business, with just all of the talents that you have. We're here for you guys. So if you have questions, it doesn't have to wait until, our weekly work session when we go live. They can always come into our inbox, and we're here to just serve you guys and be there for you guys. So thank you guys for all coming. It's really fun to watch how many attendees we have. It's just a phenomenal day. So take care, you guys. Stay healthy.
Yes, and we will see you all back here next week, same time. If you have requests for training, for topics, specific things you want support around, send them to us. We do these for you. All right. So we're excited to see you next week. Thank you, Martha, for being here and giving of your time today. And thank you all for being here and being a part of this community. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.